First tonight, the public weighing in on a controversial plan to build a private marina and new homes near the Saugatuck State Park. We told you at 5 and 6 about the meeting that was happening, and now tonight we're hearing why some are concerned.
Plus, a historian who says there may be something underneath all that sand. 24-Hour News 8's Sarah Hurwitz has this story new tonight.
Well, a number of questions and concerns tonight from the community about preservation of the natural resources of the Dunes area, as well as historic preservation of a potentially lost town that was buried beneath the sand as developers look to continue with construction. A packed house tonight at Saugatuck High School as the community didn't shy from voicing strong opinions on the future of an area near Saugatuck Dunes State Park. Developers plan to build a private marina and dozens of homes.
We take the responsibility to work along the lakeshore very seriously.
The plan would create a new access roadway around the marina basin, a community building, a boathouse, pathways, and 23 new homes. Developer North Shores of Saugatuck LLC currently has 2 applications under review by the DEQ and the Army Corps of Engineers.
The very town of Singapore and the cultural resources along the Dunes area have not been fully researched.
Roughly 150 years ago, the town of Singapore was swallowed by the dunes. It's unclear what may be down there, which is why the Army Corps of Engineers is requiring an archaeological survey before it'll review any more of the application.
And our first step is to consider whether there might be any historic properties in the permit area.
The developer is required to retain an archaeologist to do the work, but it's unclear what that process might look like or what they might find. Matthew Daly is a history professor at GVSU. He says it could very well be a time capsule of sorts, as Singapore was a sawmill town in the mid to late 1800s, and there could be domestic products like china intact or remnants of other industrial products.
It's very tantalizing in that sort of mystery sense, but it's also interesting because it's so close and familiar, and it's hard to imagine that you would leave towns and that there are those sorts of ruins underneath the dunes by the lakeshore.
Now, public comment period for the MDEQ, that runs through October 27th. As for those 2 applications, it's unclear when decisions will be made on both of those, as well as for that archaeological survey. In Saugatuck tonight, Sarah Hurwitz, 24-Hour News 8.